let me take these headphones off. I get into the zone of listening to good music. But we are live on today. Today, I got up, had to do physical therapy at 7 a.m. Okay. So I've been up at 7, well, before 7, getting myself ready for physical therapy. And it felt really good. I mean, it was twisted and turning. It just felt incredible having the physical therapy that I had today, and I feel refreshed. You know, people are saying, "Oh my gosh, you're losing weight. What is your secret?" Oh my gosh, the secret is just doing it day by day, and try to for a couple of weeks, no sugar, no fried foods every single day. Make sure if you have it's like say for you want to have a little cheat day, have one cheat day out of once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. And when I say plenty water, make water your friend. You need to be going through cases of water and walking. So I appreciate that as well. So I was twisting it and turning. They were turning it. It felt really good, up, down. And my foot is feeling much better because I'm getting the therapy, and I'm not just doing the therapy, I'm actually doing the work outside of therapy as well. So I do want to thank the subscribers for encouraging me on my journey. And of course, I tell the members everything. It was just an incredible moment. And then also when I went to the office, we have a beautiful interview that we're going to be doing. It's going to be exciting concerning Steve and Margie Harvey. That's going to be on soon. That's going to drop. We had got office space. And let me tell you, we had got the office space. So I'm there getting the Uber because I wanted to quiet because it's my first interview of this year. So I said, hey, I don't want any distractions. I want to make sure it's clear. So I get there a little early. Now, mind you, I booked the office for like 1 to 3. Get there about 12:30, 30 minutes before. So I get there and I'm like, I'm getting the Wi-Fi code and the internet just not working. I'm like, what's going on? It's not working. Wasn't working on my phone. I'm extremely upset. The next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock that came. And shout out to the reception. She was really nice. She was doing it. She didn't know what she was doing. She had to wait till the other lady get off work. So she wound up finally do it. And mind you, my guest called me. So I have to go to the guest. So I said, skip it. Let me go on my phone. I have all these notes. I just got to wing it. Okay. So I went and got the phone, did the show in the office. Of course, it's out like a corner office, like you can see outside. It's beautiful. So I did that. And then I went back to the receptionist. She still had my laptop. I went back to the receptionist and she said, finally I was able to connect to the internet. Now, mind you, I'm kind of upset because it didn't really good because I don't like doing it on my phone because people want to call. And towards the end, I was like, oh my gosh, but we was able to get at least about a 45, 50-minute interview. And that was pretty decent. Then it was a great conversation. So I go back to the receptionist and she was like, well, finally on the internet. And then I went back and she said, you know what? It's no charge. I'm not going to charge you for this day because you had technical difficulties. And then I went there and they was like, do you want any coffee, Mr. Wiley, or water? I said, I would like water. It's good to hear Mr. Wiley owning my business. So, because we have our business, and this is like the first time I have my business and I'm actually under my business, right? A blessing. So I go there and speaking to the reception, she said, well, I Googled your business and you are extremely talented, extremely entertaining, she said, because we talk a lot of stuff. And sometimes, you really growing and you're reaching people when you see people in your real life that they notice the show. So, of course, I go to work. Everybody knows the show. And I'm going to tell you, one particular person came to me. I know your secret. You got a TikTok because they know about the TikTok. Because I post the same thing I do on YouTube. I post it on TikTok, the Reels, everywhere. And, of course, people just can't just sit and congratulate you. They got to be, well, you ain't really making no money. For me, I just love to entertain. And the money will come. You know what I'm saying? We have made more money this month than we did last month. I would say I believe this was almost a breaking record check that I got from YouTube. Almost. It was a couple $100 off a breaking record. I believe the biggest check. I have to look at the data of this year, I can say. Because we put in the work, put in shows, building up the core, and also building up the short reels and the shorts. So people were saying, hey, I really like the shorts, or I really like your long videos. I want it longer. But the numbers don't lie. The data don't lie. When I'm looking at a video, 200 and some thousand views, 175,000 views, 30,000, 40, 50,000 views, That's incredible. You know what I'm saying? So I would take the hit financially just to get more recognition because I could do more and bring more and then try to see what would make y'all tune in more for long videos. I'm not the only one that has went through this. Multiple creators have went through that. I mean, I looked at Beloved Life. I mean, she was getting millions and now she's getting a couple of thousand. So do you know what I mean? So she went down. Zaddy Chuck was getting hundreds of thousands of views. He's getting a couple of thousand. The Scorpion Show was getting a lot of views, a couple, maybe 1 or 2,000 per video. The same amount of views I'm getting. And these creators that I'm talking to, you have hundreds of thousands, some millions of subscribers. So what I'm saying is I still have time. So I wasn't in a predicament where I just lost pretty much all of my income and it just, oh my God, it's bad. I've always got a couple of $1,000s a month from YouTube. Never was 10,000. We never made $10,000. We probably a couple of $1,000s short from 10,000, but we never made $10,000 a month. So it never really hurt me as a creator. It never really hurt me as a creator when the financial piece. But I will say that this I love entertaining people, whether I get paid or don't get paid, because I just love to talk. I think people say, oh, do you love to do it? I love to make people laugh because I've been doing this a long time before I even got a check, before I was able to pay my rent on YouTube. For years, I wasn't able to pay my rent on YouTube. I've always had to work a job. Now I could able to pay my rent on YouTube, pay my utilities, and I work extra to help with the business because it ain't just enough to just go on vacation. It's just enough to pay utilities, rent. That's it. I got to have something else to back up. You know, that's how I do this job because it's not enough because expenses are up. Rent is up. That's about $1,000. That's going to go to them. There you got utilities, your internet, phone, all that. And then food, your check gone. So, and thank God that I can pay all my situations, my bills, and some people can't. They be in a hole. I thank God that I'm able to pay and still not on when it comes to bill. And then also we got good news today. I got to talk about it that we actually went up on our credit. You know, our credit score went up because thanks to President Biden administration, a lot of the old schools that I went to that got shut down by the Department of Education, they deleted it off my credit report. They took it, they deleted they said you don't owe for this student loan, and they deleted off my credit report. And I think my credit score went up 30 points. So it's just amazing for that. And that's why the importance of voting. So now when I look at President Biden, I may go to the voting booth and say, hey, I want to vote for him just on the basis of I'm seeing the work of his administration actually affecting my daily life, my daily finances. So when I go to the voting booth, I might look at that and say, hey, I will give Joe Biden a chance because look at what he had passed. Even though a lot of my people, they were saying on social media, all the chatter, they were saying, well, you know, Joe Biden is 80-some years old and blah, 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 blah. He might not make it. Well, I'm fine with a President Harris presidency because President Kamala Harris will have the same resources that President Biden does. People think a president does it by himself. No, a president have multiple advisors in so many departments. He have hundreds of brilliant people working with him. And of course, he will have the final show. In the case of President Harris, she will have the final say so, but she will have expert opinions regarding every single major decision that you have to make to run this country. So I'm fine with that. But the reason I got to say this, the reason why Democrats or liberals or even some Republicans, they are frightened because they don't want to see a woman, especially a woman of color, or some of y'all don't like when I say black woman, but they look at her like a black woman. Let's be technical on that. So they don't want to see it. Some Democrats, some liberals don't want to see a black woman in that seat of power as that, because that's just going to floodgates of more black women going to be in that position. So that's why they are not really like, oh my gosh. And now a lot of Republicans are be like, well, we shouldn't impeach Biden because if we impeach Biden, President Harris will be the president of the United States. And it will send shockwaves in the country and around the world that the United States have elected the first woman, she is in office, first woman president ever in office, and there's going to have to be a woman of color. So that's what I call iconic if it were to happen. Biden is doing the best that he could do. I understand how government works. and how government works. It is a process. It is not a dictatorship. This is the democracy supposed to be, and it is different rules and regulations that get things done. Now, I can also say, just like Bishop T.D. Jakes said in the Breakfast Club interview, being a disruptor is that stop complaining from the outside and go on the inside. The problem is when we talk about politics, a lot of people are complaining about it on the outside, don't have the knowledge or goes on the inside, don't have any type of one-on-one political civil engagement. They're only talking about the outside, even when it's concerning about business. Being an entrepreneur, you cannot look at onlookers. As what Bishop T.D. Jakes said, you have to talk to fellow entrepreneurs, people that is in the business, that is successful, that is amazing mentor. Do not be swayed by onlookers that don't have a business, don't have an LLC, don't own property, just renting. They don't understand your mindset of being a business owner, being an entrepreneur. It sounds foreign, not because like it's just so foreign that they can't know. It's that because that's not them. That's not their life. That don't keep them up at night. So you have to talk to willing-minded people. The same thing when it comes to political thing. That's why it's so important that we train our children. My niece, I look at her, she's about 7 years old. We need to train our children up about the political structure because it's going to affect them. Now it affect them. A political decision affect them where what they eat for lunch, that's all government regulated. Where they go to school, government regulated. Do you want to have on what type of uniform? That's all regulated by some agency dealing with the government. The government have to get approved for a lot of things. So what I'm saying is these are all politicians from the school board, from the superintendent, etc. Politics affects your daily life. When I talk to creators, they say, well, I don't talk about politics. Well, you need to be concerned about politics because things are changing. The social media industry is changing. It will come a time for my creators that are listening that they're going to make this regulated by the FCC. We're going to be held to the same standard as a television broadcaster. That's going to happen. I see it happening because so many people are turning television away and the government love to be in our business. So they're going to make sure, okay, we're going to start regulating these YouTube shows where they can't say certain type of language. I can see that actually happening in the future. All it takes is one politician and more politicians to talk about it before they actually make it part of some major regulation. The reason why Google or YouTube or Rumble or any of these entities cannot get sued because it is a law shielding them for not being liable about what I say on my channel. You have to sue me directly. You can't sue Google because Google is shielded to not being sued because they're not held to like a newspaper publisher type of deal. This is a social media site. But that law could easily change and it will affect so many creators' lives. So it's very important to understand what's going on in this economy, what's going on the show. So that's why I talk about politics and try to be aware of what's going on in our structure. Just like Mayor Brandon Johnson, he worked with FEMA and they was able to give millions of dollars because so many people have lost property because of the rain. Now people are saying, oh my gosh, Wiley, how do you fill this out with FEMA? I didn't know about this. I was telling them about this, telling coworkers about it. I said, this program, if you had any damages, this program can help you. So that's all government regulated. So a lot of people didn't know because maybe they didn't follow it. It's not on the news. Because I'm subscribed to the city hall, I get all of the public messages that come, and I saw it on there, and I was letting people know, hey, if you got any damage, this is the time to get up on that FEMA money before it run out. That's all government regulated, and this is why it's important to understand how your local state government work. And again, I'm not a pro. I'm learning just like you are learning. But if I can take this information, being was in Chicago public school system, they put me in special ed. That's what they diagnosed me with. And if I can understand this, what's wrong with you and you wasn't in special ed and you supposed to have you supposed to be very smart. You got to understand about politics. And when you go into business, you got to know about the tax code, about tax write-off, etc. So you have to understand that politics is going to be with us while we're alive, all the way to the tomb. We're going to have to deal with the government. I would rather learn about the system, And then if I don't like it, participate, be a part of the process. You can be an activist, say, hey, I don't want to be a part of the inside. Well, I want to do the outside. This is what I want to do on the outside. But you also need people on the inside to make sure that people on the outside, that they can accomplish things. You on the inside, you have the backup to accomplish your agenda. This is why I love talking about it, because people need to hear about these things. Now, in my last point of this political discussion, because I got to make it short, because y'all love entertainment, y'all love to be roasted, entertained. They did a poll and they said Biden and Joe Biden and President Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, they're literally in a tie. We've been knew the tea months ago when we polled our own audience. This is a Democratic, most of y'all are Democrats, right? And Christian. Y'all, it was a 50-50 split, 49-50 split of who would you vote. I posed the question, if the election was held today, who would you vote for? It was literally a 49-50. That's what was going back and forth. So I can tell that that national poll is not so far off, because I did the poll right here on this platform that typically most of y'all have voted Democrat, if y'all mostly have most Democrats in your family, and it's split. So, but we can all agree I can agree that we don't want two old white men running for president, but we have always seen white men running for president. Probably not this older, not my lifetime, but this is what the power of America is. A lot of old people want to be in power. They don't want to give that power up because of corruption, because of being paid off, and because they are obsessed with power. I believe that we need to have a high school doctrine. Meaning, what do I mean by the high school doctrine? When you go to high school, you spend a minimum of 4 years, you go away, you done. And then you go and live life. I believe bare minimum, all officers need to have a 4-year term, 2 years max term, 4-year term max, and then do that. I believe that should happen. I believe in Congress, it should be a 4-year term in Congress. I believe that. I don't believe that you should be in office 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50 years. No, I believe that you should be able to be in our 4 years like the president. The maximum that you can do is 8. And then you go back in society. So it won't lead to this corruption, because we've seen places where they are in office for 40 to 50 years, especially in Africa. They're spending decades in office, and it's breed corruption. It breeds that your family is benefiting from the country. It's benefiting that all of this, your friends are benefiting from the country. You need to be able to go back in society and to see how society is working by the things that you accomplish. So when you go in there, you make sure you do your job, because you know you ain't gonna be that long, versus you just being in there, just taking up space. There's plenty Congress people from Republican to Democrat not doing enough job. When I look at the Democrats in the Black Congressional Caucus, some of them are old, and they get really mad when young progressive or young African-American men or women that want to be in office, like, give up that seat, baby. You held it for 40 years. How long do you want to be a Congress of your district? Let somebody else give some new, fresh ideas. You've been in almost 40 plus years. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Bobby Rush. Don't get me wrong, I love him. I think he's iconic. He was in the Black Panthers. But brother, he can't even hardly talk now. You old as dust. Give somebody else another chance. Like, I get it. Y'all want to be up in here and for a long time, but give it up. The other Feinstein, whatever, her from California, girl, homegirl, you can't even understand what you voting on. Give up. Roll that chair out. Live the rest of your days in peace with your staff and your wealth that you accumulated, and let somebody younger, particularly a Black woman, take over. Because we don't have no Black women in the Senate. That is an insult. We only have about 2 or 3 Black men in the Senate. That is an insult. We had more Black people in office after slavery. After slavery, we had more Black folks after slavery in office than we do now with this so-called integration, so-called freedom. So I'm saying this when I look into the political structure. We have to do a better job as people, as men and women, and we must participate in that as well. Yes, I understand Africa is a continent. I get it. It's a continent, which it needs to be gone head on and be more unified and have one leader and one unit because they get screwed over with all these multiple different countries or continents. Everybody got their little different little squads over there in Africa, which is how Africa is run. Is very low budget, and the way the system is Africa is outdated, and they're getting screwed by Europe. They're getting screwed. I don't even know how much they're getting screwed. They're getting screwed. Anyway, I can go on and on about Africa. That ain't none of my business. And then and speaking about Africa, I'm gonna say this since you brought up Africa being a continent. I agree with you on that. A lot of African Americans are moving from Africa back to America. You know why? Because you don't understand how good a luxury lifestyle you are living in America by able to go to Google, go to Amazon and get packages. You don't know how convenient you have your way of living in America. Yes, America got its issues, but when you finally go to another country, you understand, or a continent, you understand, maybe I miss America, where you can go get food, where it's accessible with grocery stores, accessible buying products, the internet system, the broadband system, lighting system. You understand the things that you're taking for granted, of finding detergent, or be able to go get furniture, multiple different furniture. You understand how you able to import it to your home, get it delivered. You understand until you actually go and move to Africa. And I'm not talking against people going to move to Africa, but I think people need to understand the difficulties going to the motherland, because even though we are African, our ancestors from Africa, but we're about so many generations from our ancestors, we don't have nothing in common with people in Africa. The culture is totally different. The system is totally different. And they're going to look at you like an American, honestly. Like, you're going to look like a foreigner because it's going to be all of your existence. And I just got to say that. I understand that. Like, hey, where can I get some beautiful detergent, beautiful bleach detergent? It's going to be difficult over there in Africa in some parts. Now, it is some parts of Africa that is more advanced than others, but in some parts of Africa, it's still stuck in the dark ages. Nothing against Africa. I love the beautiful motherland, but let's call back the corruption in Africa. It's just so much corruption with the leaders corrupt. The drivers got a driver. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot of corruption. And I'm just saying that humbly, from my own research and from my own understanding, but I will visit my homeland, Nigeria. A lot of corruption, a lot of scammers in Nigeria. Honestly, a lot of scammers in Nigeria. But I still want to go to Nigeria, and maybe they can teach me, a couple of things or two, how to get over in the system. But I love my African roots. I'm a proud African brother. I have Nigeria in my blood, and I'm going to actually take the African DNA ancestry test to see what tribe I come from, so I will understand the culture. But let's be clear, I love America. America is one of the greatest countries ever. Abundance of wealth, abundance of opportunity. And then another thing, if you go move from America to Africa, there is no jobs that will pay you like your American standard. There are no jobs in Africa for you. I mean, their unemployment in Africa is about 40 to 50%. It's been that way for decades. And their leaders are huge, big leaders. They're eating the best of food, living in best of everywhere. They're living large. Their children going to the best schools down in Africa and Europe, and they're living large. In Africa, with the unemployment 40 to 50%. Our unemployment, we think it's bad if it's at 10%, but Africa, their youth is at 40, 50% of unemployment. And I don't understand. And I know when I'm having this conversation, people are going to tell me to stop talking or whatever, but facts are fact. 40, 50% of unemployment in Africa. And don't get me wrong, I love Africa, but I love my electricity, that the electricity is just on all day, every day. Some parts of Africa, the government shuts off the electricity. They don't keep it on all day. The water is not the same standard like American water. When you have to go to Africa, you have to take multiple shots, beautiful shots, multiple shots. You have to take multiple shots when you go to Africa. And that's what I love being in this country. But in Africa, you have to take multiple shots because of the type of things that is in Africa. But I still love it. And I love it. And I think it's such a beautiful place, and I'm gonna go back to this topic, and I might bring some people that was born and raised in Africa and bring them on my show. And I know I got some people that's in the chat maybe upset at what I'm saying, but ask me, do I care? I absolutely do not care because it's my opinion. And then when we open up the phone lines, I care about your opinion then. But in the comments, I really don't care. You have to call in and you state your argument, and we can talk as brothers or as sisters. We can talk. But yeah, that's what I have to understand. They have multiple blackouts in Africa, multiple blackouts. All right, and a lot of times they eat on the street. They eat stuff on the street. They don't have utensils. A lot of parts of Africa don't have a sidewalk, beautiful sidewalk. Most of America's streets got beautiful sidewalks. Unfortunately, Africa don't. We have beautiful traffic signs. And Africa don't really have that like that. I'm just saying. But this is my opinion, and my opinion is facts. Take it as you leave it. Argue with your grandmother. Don't argue with me. All right, let's move on from that. Now, I just had to open up with that. I know people are upset and mad, but let them be upset and mad. We'll open up the phone lines and let y'all call in. But I have to get to my first topic here. We have to talk about none other than Tamar Braxton. I love her, but this is the thing with Atlanta. Atlanta is infested with crime. And she was allegedly, in her home. She saw it on the camera. Someone robbed her and stole her vehicles, her items. Now Tamar is saying that she's homeless, that she has to move. She's frightened. This is why I don't want a car because, Atlanta, Georgia is very infested with crime. Crime there very hard in Georgia. Georgia, very, very crime infested. And so this is why I really don't want a car because beautiful Chicago. I love Chicago, but it is very dangerous to have a vehicle at some parts of the city because people want to steal your vehicle. They want to chop it up and take it. And you work very hard. This is why I tell people, do not put important stuff in your vehicle. Do not put money in your vehicle, wallets, nothing at all. Leave it bare. Only thing that should be in your car is your registration and your insurance. That's it. Don't leave nothing in here. Don't even leave your spare tire and that's it. But leaving all your phones and papers and jewelry, don't. That is stupid because people will go into your car. Beautiful Kyle from Neighborhood Talk. He actually was in his beautiful garage. He lived in a beautiful high rise. And someone stole his vehicle right in his presence. My close friend, Pierre from the Freaky Boys, he was on the west side of Chicago. Very dangerous. He decided to go and he had a rental car and they stole the car. And obviously, I guess the car didn't really have that much gas because the car stopped in an alley. And, cars are going crazy, especially if you have the Kia. They call them Kia boys. And we have a mayor here in the city of Chicago very weak on people with carjacking. So I understand, Tamar, but this is what you have to do to the mayor. You have to tell the mayor to be tough on crime. Talk to the governor, Governor Kemp. He believes in law and order, but he needs to put laws on the books that if you carjack somebody, you need to spend a minimum of 25 to 30 years in prison, 30 years, hard labor, that you have to work and wash cars and change tires for 30 plus years. You need to be doing that. And then that will teach you. And if you do not work at a car lot for 30 years, changing tire, washing, doing an oil change, working all for 30 years, if you miss 5 days of work, you have to go and serve the rest of that out in prison. This is what we need to do as a society. Use those criminals and thugs and let them work in society by washing cars, building cars, putting new tires. And if they refuse to do it, pick up garbage, clean up, put up new street signs, train them up. And if they refuse to come to work, then they should be in jail for about 40 to 50 years. It's just what I believe. So if I was governor, I might be governor one day, Governor Wiley. I would tell my administration that we got to be tough on crime 40 to 50 years because some of these people, they're criminals and thugs. And they always say, we don't have any program. We have plenty of programs. If you think we don't have any programs, you're going to have one of the greatest programs because you're going to be in prison in one of the greatest programs of building cars, washing cars. And so by the time you get out, you don't even want to see a car. But this is what you got to be tough because people work hard for the cars. They're beautiful cars. Tamar worked very, very hard. She's not the most wealthiest star. She got divorced. Her husband was in a lot of debt. So she have to rebuild, and stealing someone's car can hurt you. You know, you paid your money, especially if your car paid off, especially when it's not paid off, because the insurance company penalized you because of the ruthless thugs. And then us that have insurance, well, I don't have it anymore because I don't have a car anymore. Us that have car insurance, we pay for the folks that are doing crime. That's insulting. People, we need to be tough on crime. This is why I tell the Brandon Johnson administration here in the city of Chicago, I understand that you need to be tough on crime. I get it. You don't want to demonize your black brothers and sisters, but let's be clear. It is a cold, hard fact that most of these carjackers in the city of Chicago on the west and south side are African-American men, and even the number with women is ticking up. We must call out the issue. Now, when it comes to Tamar Braxton, it makes me go back to the city of Chicago because the Mayor Johnson is suing the Kia manufacturers, the car company, and saying y'all didn't have good technology to protect people from stealing. No, I don't care what type of technology they got. A thief gonna learn how to steal someone's vehicle. The problem should be addressing those that's stealing the vehicle, not that they didn't have the best security system. You need to arrest them. This wasn't the first time that we dealt with an epidemic of people stealing cars. We dealt with that back in the 90s, and they made it tougher. Now we need to make it 40 to 50 to 60 years in prison. I'm a hardcore, because that is a violent offense, very violent offense, stealing someone's car. And a lot of these thugs are getting more violent with weapons. They're arming themselves with it. They are taking people items. I believe that they should serve a minimum of 40 to 50 years of hard labor. And I'm talking about plantation style in Mississippi, Louisiana, somewhere in the hot sun of Illinois, where you're picking cotton, building railroads, building railroad tracks, outside, building houses for the homeless, because this is what you have to do. Because again, we have to feed you as taxpayers, so we need to get a return on our investment, on our payment. So while we feed you, give you 3 hots in a car, the best medical care, you building homes for the homeless, etc. So I'm extremely upset for Tamar Braxton that she have to go through this hatred from someone that probably is black that stole her vehicle, and probably was somebody in her team that told them where her vehicle is at, because why her vehicle at everybody else's vehicle? Why is it just Tamar Braxton? But of course, I feel it in my spirit. There was probably somebody in her camp. I don't know. Probably James Wright Chanel. Probably he got mad because she didn't make enough burgers. I don't know. Probably didn't cook enough fried chicken. It was probably the fried chicken was cold. He probably was upset. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really make no money for them patty pies. So he probably went out there and said, you know what? I'm gonna talk to some of my homegirls and I'm gonna tell them to come steal her vehicle. I don't know. I'm kidding, because don't reach out to James Wright Chanel and he up there get them fingers and start coming in the chat talking to me weird. And I don't want that. But we love him though. But I'm just saying, somebody in her team, because why out of everybody that they're talking about that situation, they stole her beautiful vehicle. And I love Tamar. Me and Tamar have been following for a long time. I know her. I've interviewed her sister Trina, and just an amazing woman, amazing talent, beautiful singer. I mean, she even sings better than Beyonce. Honestly, I think vocally she sings better than Tamar Braxton. And I just love her stuff. I love White Candles is one of my favorite songs. I love her beauty. I love her style. I love that she's very entertaining. She's just very entertaining. I miss her on television, like on the View type of show. But of course, she still do her thing. But when she missed out, when they fired her, or when Lonnie Love, Big Tail, that big woman, when she decided to end Tamar Braxton's career on The Real, I knew then that was the end of The Real. Because one thing about Lonnie Love, Lonnie Love was dealing with an aggressiveness of a lot of excessive obesity. And so when you see Tamar, she was small, she was talented, she was the show. Everybody tuned in to see Tamar. Did nobody tune in to see T.L. Tamir, them sisters, they dry bones? Did nobody see Lonnie Love faking crying because she didn't have nothing to eat in the project? Clearly, ma'am, you didn't miss no meals in the projects. You ate really good in the project, so stop all that lying. But Tamar was just real, organic, and all the rest of them were fake. But I just love, you didn't never know what Tamar had to say. So beautiful. And it was just an awesome experience seeing her on the television screen. So, of course, I reached out to her privately, and had these beautiful conversations. Beautiful woman. and really nice. And I saw her at the at Tony Braxton concert. Went to go see beautiful Tony Braxton. I went to see her twice. So I had a beautiful time talking with the Braxton sisters. I've been knowing them for a very long time, and they're pre-K. You know, they grew up in holiness churches like myself, and so I love her. I think that she's an incredible person, and I would have loved to see her on Braxton Family Values and bringing that show back. But of course, they didn't get paid fairly. When I look at Tamar, and I remember the last conversation I had with Tamar and some of the Braxtons on Zoom, I felt like they should have been on the level of the Kardashian in wealth. But because they were Black women, they have to get the bottom of the barrel. The Braxton family should be so wealthy. They should be worth a lot of wealth. But of course, because of their Black and loud, they did not get any of the wealth. And I will never forget when I saw Kingdom Come, I didn't know that Tamar was singing in one of the records that she was sung on the soundtrack. And I had this conversation with her like many, many years ago. I didn't know it. And I fell in love with it. I love the song. Everybody needs somebody who can tell somebody. Okay, I didn't know that Tamar Braxton she sung that song. And I'm like, woo, she's just an amazing singer, one of my favorite songs. And but she didn't really get paid fairly for a lot of things that she had been doing. Hell, the music industry don't even pay you fairly. That's why these artists perform every other day, every other week. They're performing just to pay their bills, in my humble opinion. But I love like the Braxtons. I think they're incredible. Like I said, I love having those beautiful relationships with talented people. I just love it. And I think it's definitely great. And when I look at her, and one thing I like about Tamar, and I just like that she's the youngest and she's the most talented. She showed up. Like, of course, I'm a fan of Toni Braxton, but I didn't grow up under Toni Braxton. I was a baby when Toni Braxton was out, when she was singing her song, Unbreak My Heart. But when I was an adult, I was a grown man. I had the biggest crush on Tamar Braxton. I couldn't understand why she wanted Vince. Vince was very huge, didn't have a neck. I didn't understand, but I knew that he had power, and he was I think he was an executive in the music industry. I think he was connected with Lady Gaga, and he had money. So I understood that you could be plus size, obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. And if you got money, you can have a beautiful woman like Tamar Braxton. So that's just something that I saw from the Braxton Family Values. And I love her mother. Her mother was a Southern, like, a type of aggressive, spiritual Black woman. Of course, she left her husband because he was cheating. I love that she didn't stick around her man. She moved on with her life, and she is so beautiful. Such a holy, great woman. It looked like she's an amazing cook. And so I just love Tamar Braxton. I think that she's just incredible. I can go on and on, kind of blushing a little bit, but I love her. I love Tamar Braxton. I don't know. Can y'all let her know that I love Tamar Braxton? And also I love Toni Braxton. I think Toni is an incredible sister, and I love how she helped her sisters. And of course, I just got to listen to Tracy Braxton album yesterday. I love her album. Anybody know I'm a huge Tracy fan? I love Tracy. May she rest in peace. Her music are just incredible. It's going to live on forever. I don't care. I need to see who wrote her songs because Tracy did amazing. I love you to the Braxton family. Make sure y'all keep up the good work. Keep on shining bright. Keep on being you, Tamar. Never stop. I love you all. And I just love Tamar. And whoever stole Tamar's car, I hope you go to jail, to prison. I'm going to work with the authorities. And Paul, we're going to work with the authorities and try to make sure we can see what went on with that, because that shouldn't happen to the queen. All right. Maybe we'll do a GoFundMe, Paul. Let's do a GoFundMe for our car. All right. Let's move on. Now, we got to talk about Tasha K and this whole thing with Joe Budden. Now, I was going to get into the whole T.S. Madison situation, but me and T.S. Madison don't see eye to eye. I told her I'm a whole man and you got what I got. Let's duke it out. Okay. I challenged T.S. Madison to a wrestling match. We chalked with her team, Allegra, and I want to challenge her to a wrestling match. And I want Tasha K to be the special guest referee. I want to do a wrestling match with T.S. Madison. Skip the boxing match. No, I want to go straight up old school wrestling. Whoever tap out first win the match. I challenge T.S. Madison. She loved going against women, but we have the same thing dangling between our legs. And I challenge T.S. Madison to a wrestling match. I challenge her one-on-one. Tasha K, special guest referee. I want Armon Wiggins on commentary. Michelle ATLA on commentary. I challenge T.S. Madison to a wrestling match. And I know I'm going to get it to Joe Budden. You stand to the side, and I got to say this about T.S. Madison, because she is so obsessed going after women. You cannot beat a woman. You have the same genetic makeup like I have. I can say that, genetic makeup. We have the same genetic makeup. I challenge you to a wrestling match. You are a coward. Your mother is a coward. She ain't no real Christian. Tell her to stop. She ain't no real Christian. And that's why she bumped into walls. But I challenge you, T.S. Madison, to a wrestling match. You going after every woman, but you don't dare go after a man, because you know why? I know your calling card. And you can say, you can dangle that thing all day. We got the same thing. When we both go to the restroom, you may go to the women's restroom, but we both stand up and we release ourselves. But I challenge you to a tap-out match, wrestling match. We can do it right there in Atlanta, Georgia. Tasha K can be the special guest referee, Armon Wiggins and Michelle ATL on commentary. I want to do it verbatim. I challenge you to a wrestling match. Let's put tickets on sales. You like money. Let's split it 50-50. Let's do a wrestling match. I challenge you to a one-on-one. You can put Oliver Twist. He want to be a woman. Put him on the sideline. I bring my people. They could be on the side of the ring as well. But I challenge you. You've been saying a lot of mess about children. You know, you're talking about my little brother, Mr. Kibi. I love him. He's out there training in Africa. But you got something to say, I want you. And if you want to have your mother rolling down the ramp, you can have her rolling down the ramp. But I challenge you to a wrestling match. Can you do it? I will do it. We can sell tickets. We can make a lot of money, and we can do it. And I want my special guest in the corner. Kaya going to be in the corner for me. We're going to bring Kaya. We're going to bring Kaya, and she's going to open up and perform. She's going to be right there in the corner with me. But I challenge you. We're going to put tickets on sale. I need somebody to make the flyer. I challenge this woman to a wrestling match. That is exactly what I do. I have so many built-in aggressive, and I have a lot of hormones. See, one thing about my hormones that I don't have to shoot it up. I have that testosterone and all of that type of stuff. I am ready for a wrestling match. Now, I do believe you need to protect that nose, because you got a nose job, you can't hardly breathe out of it. But we are challenging you. I'm challenging you, T.S. Madison. So, again, if you all want to see this wrestling match between T.S. Madison and Wiley, give me a hell yeah. Okay, just give me a hell yeah. I always want to say that. But I challenge her, because when I saw her going on my homegirl Paige Couture and all of these women, she just going after. She don't say nothing towards the men. You know why? Because we don't play that. She go after women knowing that she can dominate a woman, but she cannot dominate me. Absolutely not. And I already told her mama got one time to say something. Let her pull that chair up and say one more thing to that mama. Okay, because mamas can get it too in that wrestler. Bring her to the wrestling ring. I get in my wheelchair, and she can get her wheelchair, and she can get it in the ring too. Okay? Okay, she can get it too. Okay? So we understand that we want to have this, because when I saw this stuff that she was saying, and shout out to Tasha K, apologize to Michelle Italian, because this is what this woman does. T.S. Madison, she does this. She goes after women. She don't say nothing against men. It was a man that literally came after you, T.S. Madison, and said you aggressively fondled him and touched him. You had nothing to say, nothing. But women, you dedicating whole paragraphs to women. I challenge you, T.S. Madison, and all of your crew, all of these women coming out. One said that I was in prison for 40 days and I had to be there, and my father was in jail. Our father died and I had to be in shackles because you committed a crime. See, when you telling your story, sis, you know who you is. And I was in prison. You making it seem like you was a political prisoner. You was selling that Budden. You was selling that sausage. You was on the corner with Maddie somewhere in Florida, got caught, got arrested, and T.S. Madison told against you, pretty much got less time than you. So you didn't go to prison because you was innocent. You was a Tutsi or Hutu. You was just a good old Nelson Mandela, whatever. You wasn't none of that. You was out there selling that sausage and got caught. Okay? So don't act like, give us this sympathy that you had this lengthy prison sentence and you were innocent. No. My problem with you all is that y'all use that to benefit, but then when y'all want to get freaky, go and lick it. No, sir, no, ma'am, that y'all doing that. It is pathetic. It is weird. I challenge you, T.S. Madison, to a ring. I challenge you to the ring. Now, Oliver, I know you in there. I challenge you. I want you right there because I'm going to come right outside and come get you. You come to the ring too, Oliver, because you're weird and fake and phony, just as fake as you could be. That's why I didn't go to the out of town when y'all went out of town with them cameras. I don't want to. You too fake. You too phony and fake. Anyway, when you was in my hotel, you was, oh, hey, Wiley, I love you. Then got around T.S. Madison. No, you want to be another T.S. Fake. I want you right out in the corner in that ring because I'm coming for you too. Soon as I get done with T.S. Madison, it ain't gonna take me long for her. Anyway, I've been training for this moment all my life, but let me get to Tasha K and Joe Budden. Now, I just had to say that. Woo. Now, Tasha K, unfortunately, we have bad news for Tasha K. Cardi B called Joe Budden, and Joe Budden is not putting out the podcast. He's not going to put out the show. Now, Tasha K was beautiful. She went out to Brooklyn. She got a line in. They put that Jerry curl spray, like she's trying to get 360 waves. She went over there to Koreatown. They dyed it purple. She was excited to be on the Joe Budden podcast. She was up there with those three beautiful men and her weak husband in the corner. And she Cardi B made a phone call to Joe Budden, and she said, do not put this interview out or I'm not going on your show. And Joe Budden complied. So what did Tasha K do? Tasha K went home. Of course, her husband was somewhere probably breaking out. He's weak. She's in the bed. Now, mind you, I know that marriage, they ain't making no more love in that marriage. So Tasha K on live for 2 hours. Right when I'm live, she got to go live. Now, I understand why I'm live. I'm single. I ain't got nobody. I'm single. But you got a whole husband. You up there live, bad breath, got a cover all over you, trying to do a show, talking about your New York show, talking about your Florida show, talking about how many tickets is almost close to selling out and didn't sell out yet. And you're talking about how Joe Budden is not doing a podcast. You know why? Because Cardi B is stopping your bags. Cardi is finally listening to me. I said, if you want to stop our back, stop them interviews. You can easily stop it. Use your power. You Cardi B. And you have a brighter future than Tasha K. She's a loud black woman that typically her chances of being more successful is slim. You are Cardi B. Look at you and look at her. Use that. So she got on the phone. She listened to me. She got on the phone and she told Joe Budden, don't put it out. Not putting it out. We have already confirmed that Nicki Minaj have distanced herself from Tasha K. Now, she's not going to block Tasha, but she is done with Tasha K. Nicki is done with Milagro Grams. She's supposed to be Mexican, right? She has done with her, and she's done with Tasha. Nicki did not go on Tasha K's show. She's not going to her show on October 20th. She's not going to her YouTube show. She's not going to her Twitter space. Nothing. Nicki is completely done. She don't like her at all. She's not done. Now, we do know when Nicki unfollowed, that make Tasha upset. So she's going to keep her being followed to make it to the public that they still cool, but she done with her. Just like she dumped Milagro Graham, dumped her. And now that's why Milagro watching Riley's show from the outside, and Milagro unfollowed Riley. I told y'all that Riley and Milagro don't follow each other. They don't like each other. Y'all didn't want to believe me, but now she unfollowed her on station. Why? Because Rye is done with Milagro as well. They dumped her. And she can't understand. They went on and dumped her, just like she dumped that unborn child and went to that clinic and dumped him in the garbage can. But I want to say this back to Joe Budden. I think, Joe Budden, you should not put out the podcast because, again, Tasha K is a known liar. She's going to get on there and lie. She's going to get on there and be disrespectful. And first and foremost, she is not deserving to be on that platform. What is she known for? Lying on celebrities. If you didn't bring her on when she covered R. Kelly, which she done great, why would you want to bring her on when she lied on Cardi and her beautiful family, her beautiful crime-free husband? And you decided to bring her on. Maybe you like to bring criminals on because you did bring Nicki Minaj. She's an accessory to a criminal because she married a whole criminal, had him going into a public space in a basement, pretending that he was in a school and knowing it was in somebody's basement, hotel basement. And she had on them shoes, look really weird, cheap shoes. And you brought her on. I get that. But you're bringing Tasha K on just to lie on people and cuss, sort of go viral. Joe Budden, you're better than that. You are such a wise, beautiful black man. And you should have Cardi B on your show. Beautiful Cardi. And you should have Wiley on your show. You don't need to reach in the gutter and get a woman like a Tasha that cut her hair off, disrespectful to women, don't want women to grow on her show, and literally pushing women back to the back burner. You need people, you need forward-thinking people like Cardi. Cardi is so beautiful. And one thing I like about Cardi B, I don't want to go too far left with Cardi singing her praises, but I will. I think Cardi B is such an incredible woman. She's talented. It shows in the ratings. It shows in her music. It just shows in everything. One thing I can say about Cardi B is she's a family woman. She loves her family. She don't want to do music anymore. She made her money. I don't think she's that hungry for it. But every time of her halfway doing it, she's still on the chart. She beat Nicki Minaj. See, Joe Budden, Bengals beat that song that Nicki was singing. Now, you know you don't like Nicki Minaj singing voice. See, this is why I'm talking to you while you got the hat on. Don't sit here and lie to me that you like Nicki Minaj, her singing. She was trash. Now, she sounded a hot mess with that song. Now, it was a song I was listening to of Nicki Minaj called Marilyn Monroe. I fell in love with that song, Nicki. I'm going to sing your praises on there. The song was pretty decent. But this voice, I don't know, maybe it's in the shackles of an SO registry list. Maybe her vocals is on house arrest. But the vocals that she had back in the day when she did Marilyn Monroe, that was better because she wasn't with the pedal. But now that voice that Nicki Minaj have, it is restricted on the SO list. It's restricted with allegations, and it's just not the same anymore. I can say clear as day that voice that she had back in the day with Marilyn Monroe, that record that she made about singing about Marilyn Monroe, it was much better than the voice now. Last time I saw you was trash. Her vocals was just trash. I don't know who told her to do that. So Drake, did you tell her to do the show? Now I know you got fatter because you got more big than me. You eating really, really good. Because I saw you coming down that stage out of breath, coming down the stairs, and I had the camera on you out of breath and chunky. And did you tell her why you was eating buffalo wings while she was chewing on ice and eating wings herself? Did you tell her to put that song out, Tay, that does her wig? Did you tell Nicki Minaj to put that out? If you did, you need to be fired because you a liar. I want people around me to tell me the truth. If I sound bad, tell me. If my breath stink, tell me. If I got a booger in my nose, put it out and eat it and tell me not to have a no booger. That's the type of staff I want. Anything they do it, okay? All right. So let's get back to Tasha K and this whole thing with Joe Budden. She was upset about it. That's why she went on a midnight rant. She was shocked that Cardi B is taking her bag. Now she mad at Cardi. She said, I'm not going to never talk about Cardi B on my channel and put her in the title. She's only famous because of me. No, honey, you got to reverse. You're only more famous because of Cardi. Cardi is not famous because of you. She have helped you. It's not the other way around. You're not helping Cardi. She have helped you. When I type your name in, Tasha K, on Google, all pictures come up with Cardi. So let's not act like you took advantage of that. And the only reason why Joe Budden, only reason why all the Miami podcasts, only reason why these other shows are picking you up is because you got sued by one of the powerful, greater, more successful than Nicki, and that is Cardi B. That's the only reason, honey. Now, I could agree with you on this, and you said it, that you're tired of Cardi and Nicki beefing. It's getting old, tired, and delayed with the shoe. It is. It's getting boring. But that's what the fans like. I think it's getting boring with women taking off their clothes, talking about their yoni and smelling it. How good can a yoni be? It ain't that. It's a piece of hanging meat that you inserted in. It feels real good, but it ain't all that, like you making it all that like that. But you said in that video that you're tired of Nicki and Cardi beefing. And I agree with you on that. I'm tired of them beefing too. You're tired of them going back and forth. You're tired of it. Just let it go. And another person went further. You didn't say this, but they said them two women of color are fighting, and then Doja Cat have just surpassed them both. So y'all too busy beefing and calling out each other. Just make good music. It is what it is. But y'all keep talking about the yoni. How good it is. It is good because, of course, it was like 6 minutes for myself. So it is incredible. It's the best. But come on, just stop acting like y'all got it like that to keep your man stable and not to cheat, because you don't. Let's be clear. Offset did some things in the relationship. So did Kenneth Petty. He just took it. So let's not act like y'all got this most powerful yoni that's so powerful. It ain't that powerful like you think it is. All right. Now, I concur that it is incredible. You know what I'm saying? I came like 6 minutes. So it is what it is. But I get it. But again, people like it. When I talk about Nicki or Cardi, you get the highest beautiful views. When I say something about Nicki, the highest views. I do know for a fact her fans is more engaged on social media than Cardi. I can tell you that for a fact. They engage. And I just give my honest opinion. I have like a man that he want to be my boyfriend or whatever. I guess he want to use me for a free cell phone. I don't know. But he loves Nicki Minaj. He love her. And I don't love her like that. I mean, she make good music, but if I feel like she's garbage, I'm gonna say she's garbage. I'm not a stan. I just have my opinion. I don't pick sides. Sometimes I feel like Cardi B is crazy at what the things that she does, inviting people, lovely tea at a party, and she supposed to be so sick in the hospital, but she going to get stuff down her throat, and she supposed to be so sick, had to get pain pills, according to Tasha K. And then everybody she brought to her party just turned against her. I mean, she brought Armon Wiggins. He turned against her too and said that Bongos was trash. So, I mean, like you, all the people that you brought to your party eating tacos, burritos, quesadillas, they all turned against you. You would have came out better putting me at that party because at least you would have knew what you were going to get. That I don't always like you, everything that you do. I like some of the things you do. I don't like everything that you do, period, point blank. And that's the bottom line because Wiley said so. Now, they said, Wiley, and I'm just going to understand that it's just a truthful thing that I'm coming from when I'm talking about Joe Budden, when I'm talking about Tasha K. Now, me and Joe, we had a beautiful conversation on Twitter when he was going back and forth with Spotify when they was not paying him fairly and giving him the analytics and the system. They wanted to screw him over, and that's why he's over doing his podcast somewhere else. But I love the fact that Joe Budden have stood up for what is right to show that I'm worth more for my podcast than what you're trying to give me on Spotify. But also, Joe Budden, you don't need to interview Tasha K. Absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you, Cardi B, for listening to me. Now take that show, October 20th, take the venue. Destroy her. Make her crumble. You make her crumble, that'll be it. Make her crumble at the end of the day. All right. Now, y'all send each other it's subliminal messages. Hold up your baby and say, I'm so glad I ain't got to go ship my baby out to Mexico and Africa like other people have to do. Or you should go to Africa with your child and perform in Africa and give Tasha K family while he's training and, he's trained to be a child soldier. Have him to come in the audience, make him be a special VIP guest. That's how you get Tasha K together, I'm saying. But I'm not going to give you no more suggestions because, again, you didn't pay me for the last suggestion. When you called Joe Budden, you did say you was going to pay me and give me about 50 racks. You didn't even give me my 50 racks. So I'm done giving you suggestions. Only thing I'm going to do is continue to watch his bangos, continue to try to dance. I'm trying to get my dance together so me and my nieces can post on TikTok. Now, I believe that she should crumble. You need to destroy Tasha K. She should not be able to afford a burger till she pay you back the $4 million. Now let's move on from that. Joe, call me after this show. Now, I believe he's watching. Can you send Joe Budden, Paul? Can you send Joe Budden the podcast? I know Tasha K is watching. She can't drop in the chat because we got her blocked just like she got me blocked. If she want to call in or something like that, somebody can send her the link. Let me drop the link. And one of her double agent, opinionator, or Peaches can send her the link and she can come on the show and have a conversation. Or maybe she could pretend like to go live, that she's so busy and all that, pretend like to go live and stuff like that. You can have her to hit the link. But all that, her coming in the chat, y'all saying hey to her like we cool. Absolutely not. If she want to come in, she got to show herself on camera, and she better not be looking raggedy like she just woke up and just got through eating some spoiled cereal. I want her looking beautiful like she looking beautiful on the chitlin circuit. I want her to look, this is, baby, you better look beautiful when you come over to the Wiley Show. Now, all these other shows, you dressed up, you got on your makeup, you better have the same thing. There is no more time. I'm bringing Tasha K on the show. She looking bad. Breath ain't together. Hair ain't together. Looking bad. Look worse. She look good. Her nose ain't running. She look classy. I want her to look like that when she hit the link on the Wiley Show. She don't look like that, Paul. We ain't bringing it on because we're not that desperate. Joe Budden, you can come on any type of way you want to come on, Joe Budden. I love you. I think what you're doing for the culture is amazing. I don't want to marry you because I heard that you touch on, you like to do a little stuff you like to be a little kind of petty-ish. That's what I heard. I ain't going to say it. That's what I heard. I heard that you like to be a little kind of petty-ish. You ain't all the way there, but you're a little kind of petty-ish, I would say. I'm not going to get into details of that because I don't want to get sued. But I will move on to the next topic concerning security. All right, this is what Armon Wiggins should have had. Then he would have had to avoid allowing his boyfriend to give Denai a two-piece and a biscuit and some jelly. Now, we are talking about these two people here, as you all know. We're talking about Armon Wiggins and we're talking about Denai. Now, mind you, this man have been inviting me to Twitter Space. I'm not going to your Twitter Space. I'm on the team of Armon Wiggins. He's winning when it comes to publicity here. It's a winner for Armon because Armon Wiggins have a further career than Denai. This is going to be a story for a couple more days. It's already getting dry because, again, Armon is great. Now, today, Denai did post a receipt that he claimed that Armon Wiggins is pressing charges. But when you look at the receipt, because of the producers, the executive producers, I posted it to them. If y'all want to see it, my executive producers have already seen the receipt. So he claimed that Armon Wiggins is pressing charges on him and that he went to the LAPD and pressed charges. But when you look at the date of this police report, it looked like it say right here, 8/17/23. Okay. Then it say a bail posted. Don't have the bail number. It say 8/17/23. This altercation happened a couple of days ago. It didn't happen in October. This actually said the case was filed 8/17/23, and it says 7/10/23 is when the incident was allegedly committed in the county of Los Angeles. So we have this. We have the law enforcement agency effecting arrest at West Hollywood Station. We see all of this stuff at the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles. But clearly, and he's saying he got a next court hearing on 9/15/23 at 8:30 a.m. Now, I don't know, but they did say he loved to document up photos and documents and photos. He loved to document up stuff, receipts, and this is look very documented up because the dates don't even match. But I would say that humbly, I think that Armon should press charges, and I think he should get a restraining order. And he need this guy. Security. Oh, wait. That's what he need. He needs security. I don't understand that. He needs security. Security. I personally believe that that's what he need. Okay. He needs straight up security. Don't we all agree? That's exactly what he needs, security. Y'all may not agree, but I do think he needs that security. Now, I want to move on from that. I did ask y'all who won. Most of y'all is on Armon Wiggins' side. So we did a poll here, and I asked you all. And this show is very biased because we roast and gag Armon a lot on this show. And so we asked y'all in the community post, who won the fight? 73% said Armon Wiggins, 27% said Denai. 73%. Now, mind you, this is a show that typically goes against Armon. But this show said 73% said they are on Armon Wiggins' side. Now, and the boyfriend definitely put the two-piece. I gotta get that boyfriend. He better blow that back out because that is amazing. Okay, he better blow that back because that boyfriend did do that. And I did listen to Armon Wiggins' Twitter space. He was right. I didn't get touched. The boyfriend, boom. The boyfriend did like that. Boyfriend can go. Pops can go. I probably want Pops to be in my corner when I wrestle T.S. Madison. Okay, I want to wrestle her. All right. Anyway, let's move on from that. Now, thank y'all so very much for tuning in. We can see if y'all want me to open up the phone lines. We can do that if y'all want to. If you choose to have the phone, if you choose to want to call in, you can. And we could just do that really quickly. I told y'all we got to get in with this show and get out because we ain't gonna be here all day because we already said what we was gonna say. They said the boyfriend won. Yes, he did. That boyfriend with that hat, he did an incredible job. Okay, incredible job. All right. If you want to call in, moderators, you all can post the number, and we done. We're done for this beautiful morning show. I like doing the morning show because we get in and get out because that's what the people want. They don't want a long show. 5-8 hours. They just want it short, sweet, to the point. This is the type of show that the audience do require. 972-674-9462. If you have anything to say, you can. They said, thanks, Wiley. Enjoy the broadcast. They said that it got beat up. Wiley. They said press charges. They said the boyfriend won. Y'all acting like there are less than 5 years difference in age. Did Jag make it to court today? I think this altercation between Armon Denot was staged for YouTube publicity. That's what they said. They said, Mary Jo Budden, what is going on in your mind? What exactly is Kenna Petty-ish? Should you crumble too? But what about the outstanding $10,000 medical bill you have not paid? That's not the same medical bill versus slander. Girl, bye. They said, $4 million of debt worth of a medical bill. Come on now. $4 million for slander for her line for $10. If you want me to pay it, I told them, let me speak to the CEO. They refused to put me on the phone with the CEO. If they would have put me on the phone with the CEO, we could have did a payment plan. I told them, let me pay $10 a month and I would pay off the balance. But they didn't want to do $10 a month. Then I'm saying, okay, I won't be paying that $10,000. You got to put me on a payment plan, and I want to speak to the CEO. That's what it is. Sweet G, my debt is totally different than Tasha K, and I'm about to file Chapter 7. It's going to be all white clean, and my Chapter 7 is going to win than her Chapter 13 because hers not going to win. What do you think of what I said about? I don't know what really he said about me in the live. But I can definitely tell he's a major danger to Armon Wiggins. Very dangerous brother, and he's unhinged. You know what I'm saying? Not safe at all. Absolutely not. And then I don't know. I will never do a boxing match with somebody ain't clean like that. Absolutely not. I personally will not do it. That's just me. I'm just giving my personal answer. But honestly, when it comes to anybody that's on the live, got something to say about Wiley, again, I'm just a entertainer. I don't do all that. I don't have a boyfriend to protect me. Only thing I know how to do, call the cops, call the popos, it get you arrested and destroy you. It gets you go to prison for a long, very long time. I don't do all this roo-rah unless we on a stage on like Zeus or something. We doing a show as cameras where we getting paid for that. And even I'm here that Zeus don't even pay the people because the guy that said Kirk Franklin's son, what's his name? That kept saying Kirk Franklin's son. He homeless in Dallas. He was just trying to go live with me. So one of my friends want him to come over and so they can screw or whatever. I would have done it, but once he found out it was at my house, he changed up his mind. Because he didn't want me to blog about it, but he surely is homeless. He ain't got nowhere to go. He surely is homeless or whatever. And I'm like, you did all that on Zeus and you homeless? That's why I said you got your priority set up. And I kept asking him, I'm like, why you don't want to work no job? Well, I don't want to work no job because people know me from the show. Negro, you broke. They gonna be knowing you from the homeless shelter. Negro. They're like, come on. And then we picked them up from when we picked them up from the Salvation Army, they said, ain't you on Zeus? Like, bro, no, that ain't me. Like, bro, like they already recognize you at the Salvation Army. So why not get a regular job? That's stupid. Why suffer? Why suffer? Why suffer? Then he said he want to do adult entertainment and blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, this is crazy. But that's what I'm saying. You want to do these shows, you want to get out to these shows, but you homeless. Like, I just don't understand that at all. Because Bad Boys don't pay you enough money to do Bad Boys. Like, what's the dude name? I gotta get his name that was on Bad Boys. What is his name? I can't think of his name right now. But he literally is definitely homeless. Okay. But you know, Zeus don't pay their people like that. You're not making millions. You're not making $100,000. You're making a couple of $1,000s, and they want to do that for fame. I'm not doing that show unless I'm getting paid real top dollar. Like, no, like you getting $5,000-$10,000 here. That's not enough. How can you live? And do you know if they're giving you $10,000? Do you know how much money Zeus make? Millions. They got millions of dollars they're getting in a month, and you're making $10,000, baby. You need to be making $100,000. Each cast member needs to be making $100,000. They giving them $10,000 if you're making that, because you get that in increments. If you finish the whole show, it may be like $6,000 to $7,000. That's not enough. That's not a lot of money. Like Zeus do not pay their people a lot of money. That's why a lot of them are struggling. They're struggling because they just got fame. Just like when Armon Wiggins and Milagro Grams, they went on. Oh, we Zeus. They went on Zeus. We on HBO. We on HBO. And they didn't get paid. Didn't get nothing. They didn't get a dime. Armon brought them people sticking up his refrigerator, sticking up his stove, sticking up that toilet. They didn't get a dime from HBO. They didn't get a dime. Do you know how much HBO Max going to make on that content? Millions. But you all so desperate for attention. Look at Milagro. Attention. That's all she want. Ooh, look at me. I'm on HBO. And guess what? Armon Wiggins' career didn't do. He in a whole boxing match, and his boyfriend had to do a 2 piece of the biscuit. Now, he did all that talking. And so famous. You're supposed to be so famous, so rich and all that. And you get in touch. Man, please, your priority messed up. One thing about it, Megan Cuniff, ain't nobody run up on Megan Cuniff. She mind her own business. Ain't nobody run up on her. No matter how crazy Milagro Grams talk, they ain't running up on Megan Cuniff. She ain't gonna run up on Megan Cuniff and get her a 2 piece of the biscuit because her black behind gonna be right there sitting beside Tory Lanez. Okay, so let's be clear. They talked about HBO Max like they got millions. You know what they got? Clout. And that clout ain't even strong enough. Armon didn't grow on subscribers. He didn't grow on Twitter followers. He's struggling. He's struggling views himself. He's trying to make ends meet doing pre-recorded videos like everybody else because they wasn't monetizing his long-form content. That's why he's doing shorter content to be monetized. But one thing about that, you got to do more on top of more on top of more on top of more on top of more content because everybody have been struggling in views. And so let's be clear. When it comes to that HBO, you're going through a trying time. Why they ain't cut you a check for $85,000 and give you residuals from being on that documentary? Come on now. Like, let's be clear. So, and people should get paid. All for travels. Listen, you should get paid to be on a documentary. You're getting resources, you're getting revenue, you should get paid. Who told you that they don't pay you? No, they pay the ones that requested and that will ask for it and that will negotiate it. You have to pay to be in that stuff. I don't want to do stuff just for exposure. That don't work. That's a lie that y'all have told y'allself. Oh, do it for exposure. Do it for. If that's the case, why these actors and actresses on strike? They got all the exposure coming out of their drawers, and they on the picket line saying they want to be paid fairly. So stop the cap. Monique got all the exposure in the world, and guess what her husband Daddy is doing? They asking for their fair payment from CBS. Her and Candace Vine is going through the whole situation. They got all the exposure. You know how much the Parkers made? Over $1.5 billion. So they got the exposure, but they didn't get the money. It's about the money, okay? It's about the money, not the exposure. It's about the money. Stop with the exposure crap. You tell that to the owners. Would you rather have the exposure or the money? They're going to tell you the MONEY, money. It is about the moolah, not about the exposure. You can't pay your rent with exposure. You can't pay your mortgage with exposure. You can't get your back untwisted with scoliosis with exposure. You cannot get a new boob job like Milagro Grams got. She got it from her audience. You cannot get that with exposure. You got to get that from money. You can't pay it with exposure. It's a debit, credit, Visa, Afterpay, Carolina, whatever you got, Affirm. You can't get it with exposure. Let's be clear. All right. So, all right. And okay. So I just have to say that, and I know y'all don't understand, but it is my choice. Thank you all so very much for tuning into the Wiley Show. Just like the great words of my dear sister, she's supposed to be Mexican now. In the words of Milagro Graham, she said she's Mexican. This is the same woman that said Beyonce was her cousin, but now she's Mexican. Okay, hola. Little black boy, you're beautiful. Little black girl, you are enough. When times get hard, always remember to put God first. All right. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. I know y'all gonna drag me in the comments. I look forward to it. I get so many drag in the comments. A beautiful brother said to me, Wally, how do you deal with the comments? Listen, I don't read them all because there's so many nice, beautiful comments. Some not so nice. but most people love me. The Barbs love me. I have beautiful conversations with beautiful Barbs, beautiful body game, and the producers love me as well. And don't forget, my birthday is on November 11th. I'm kind of blushing right now. I'll be 33 years old. And of course, we ask you all $1 per year for my birthday. We ask that you send us $1 per year that we get it directly to the Cash App or to Zelle. Y'all did it. This is a tradition for our birthday. It's a once a year thing to show how much you appreciate me bringing you so much entertainment in your home, in your condo, all around the country, and so around the world. Honestly, Paul, around the world, Europe, Asia, and the beautiful Africa. And I love it. So again, we're asking that you send contributions to us. We would love to have those contributions. I think it would be great. It's an honor to entertain you guys. I've been doing it for a very long time, but I ain't tired yet. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be 33 years old. I was born November 11th on a beautiful Sunday, 1990, and I'm celebrating a new year, if it be the Lord's will, November 11th of this year. And of course, we're going to do a special broadcast for that. And then also, I can't wait. We have a beautiful interview over with it's concerning Steve and Margie, could be. And we got a special guest that's going to, we already got the interview already been streamed and everything. So I'm working on it. So bear with me, you guys. I may release it next week. I'm kind of nervous because this is my first time ever doing it, interview of this magnitude. But this is the future of it. And of course, we need your contribution so we get to be in office space. Because in 2024, we do want to bring more people on the show in person, but we can't have them at home where I lay my head. Because again, these people are crazy, and I'd rather do it in an office space versus you in my home. I don't want you to know where I'm at. I don't want you in my room, using my toilet, eating my food. I'd rather bring food, you use their toilet and stuff like that. They said, Dream, you know I'm keeping it real. Love you. I see y'all in here. They said, Wiley gonna find a way to make things bad. No, I'm not gonna make it bad. I love everybody. I'm going to make it bad. I see the members in here. Amber is Daniela, Crystal. I see Dreamy here, Latavia, Jay in here. I see all of y'all in here. Y'all are showing so much love. Love Maria. I love Love Maria. Who else is in here that is a member? Also, shout out to Kenya Sanders, one of my Facebook followers that's been a fan of the Wiley Show for a very long time. Love you, Kenya Sanders. You're one of my top leading subscribe because you everywhere. You follow me every platform. You leave about at least a bare minimum of 80 comments a day, probably 100 comments. Crystal, I love you. You leave me about 150,000 comments. Lala, I love Lala 1908. Love you, beautiful. Because Kenya Sanders leave me about 3,000 comments a day. She don't play. She calls me every day. I don't know half the stuff she talk about, but we understand each other and we love her. Love you so very much. Thank you all so very much for calling in. Quiet Storm, I love you. You're beautiful. Love you. But yeah, the Mace, how you doing, show? Mayro show. Hi. Chucktown QT in the comments. Yes, Kenya Sanders, baby. You go to my Facebook. She the only one leaving the comment. If I had about 150 Kenya Sanders, this show would go to the next level. She leave me a lot of engagements on Facebook. I mean, if you go to my messages, she calls me over 1 million times. Text, all type of messages, long messages. I don't know half the stuff she talking about, but she know it. And I'll be trying to say, go ahead, yeah, keep on with it. Sometimes she dragging me. They said, working for you, getting their bodies put in your content. So you say you got it in with Timothy, guy who worked with them. You've been with a lot of people and coming for folks. Okay. That's Kenya Sanders. That's what she's saying right there. That's what she said. I told you, Kenya said, I don't call you. Stop. That she said she don't call me, but that's Kenya Sanders. Hello, my man. That's Kenya said, how are you? Oh, you want some breakfast? You want breakfast? You want some beautiful breakfast? And that, hey, look at Kenya Sanders. There you go. Okay, that's Kenya Sanders in the building, baby. And Kenya Sanders still there. So she on Facebook. That's Kenya Sanders. All right, y'all. Gotta go. Thank you all so very much. Y'all have shown so much love. And somebody at the door, man. Somebody has shown so much love. Thank you all so very much. Thank you all. And y'all, and this has been amazing. Kenya said, I'm gonna get your A word. Oh Lord, Kenya said it. They said, stop saying my name. All right, Kenya. I will never say your name again. All right. Thank you all so very much. Until next time, we are live from the beautiful state of this beautiful state. I can't wait to go back to. I'll be back in a couple of days. See y'all later.